It ain't no passing craze.
Democrat who voted against the war.
The best way that we honor
And good evening, Redskin fans. Welcome in. The Redskins getting set for their 7 o'clock matchup tonight with Joliet Catholic. And we're happy to have it here on 95.7 WJDK. And, of course, just as big of a story as this game is, the anticipation for this game for the first time in over 80 years. These two teams playing in Morris, and an excellent weather night, although the wind has picked up a little bit in the last couple of hours. But all in all, just a very pleasant evening for football. And, of course, a huge crowd on hand. We're going to be talking with some of the folks that are here tonight, whether they be some folks that are working on the broadcast with me tonight. Mike Hensel, he'll be chatting with some of the folks in the stands, as we'll give you a little expanded pregame coverage tonight of this huge ball game, 6A quarterfinal. Morris and Joliet Catholic, both teams are 11-0, and of course a lot of people feel that the winner of this game will win the state championship. A lot of folks are frustrated with the quadrant setup, because they feel these two teams, if it was seeded properly, would meet in the title game. But that's not the way it goes. They like to do things a little more geographically from time to time. So they meet in this quarterfinal matchup at Morris. One of 4 games this weekend in 6A. As also tonight, the opponent for the winner of tonight's game will be known at 7 o'clock. Crystal Lake South is taking on Cary Grove, a 2 and a 1. The winner of that game gets the winner of this game. Then there are 2 games on Saturday in 6A. Oak Forest and Chicago Hubbard at 7 at Gately Stadium. And then Normal Community at Mount Vernon. That will be Saturday at 3 o'clock. We're about 55 minutes away from kickoff, and the crowd continues to flow in. Of course, a huge turnout tonight. No additional bleachers have been brought in, but they are accommodating some of the fans with some fences that have been lined up towards the south behind the end zone. Folks are lining up behind there already, and of course the parking lot was full as we got here about 4 o'clock. Cars were already streaming in, people lining up at the gate trying to get ready to make their way in and get their seats. And this stadium looked like it was ready for a varsity game with a full setup stands-wise about an hour and a half ago. And folks are ready and primed. Joliet Catholic on the field going through some warm-ups as we speak. And the anticipation for this game strong throughout the week, and people were in the mood around lunchtime today for a little tailgating. Our very own Jack Daly was out and about, and he had a chance to talk with some of the folks that were getting a head start on the party.
I've got a bunch of guys. They're setting up here. We're on the Gould Park side of Union Street, so we are in the official tailgating area. And let's introduce. We got a whole bunch of guys here, and they're fired up. They're ready to go. Let's start with you. Tell us your name and what year here at Morris.
I'm Stephen Lambert. I'm currently a senior here at Morris High School, and I'm looking forward to watching a great football game today.
I'm Matt Haar, and I'm a senior here at Morris, and looking forward to the game.
I'm Mike Conway, senior, and I'm looking to see JCA get destroyed today.
Yeah. All right. And this guy's got the Grill Master apron on, so your name?
I'm Justin Harrell. I'm a senior at Morris, and I can't wait to see JCA lose. Yeah! Pat Schuster. I'm a senior as well, and just want to see a good game, and of course a Redskins victory.
All right.
I'm Chewy, and I just came to get some food.
All right, Chewy. And you are?
I'm Don Picardo. I'm currently a junior at Morris High School, and hope to see a Redskins victory.
Tell us about this T-shirt. Haven't seen one of those.
Yeah, it says it's on our hill now.
Redskins versus Hilltoppers. It's got the Redskin helmet logo, and it's on our hill now. We got one of the ball players here, too, who's strolling around. David Tabler. Dave, what position do you play? What year are you at here?
I'm a senior. I play left guard for the Morris Redskins on the offensive line.
What are you thinking about tonight's game? What's going through your mind?
Well, I'm thinking they're not ready for what we're going to bring to them.
What kind of preparation has the coach had you go through this week?
Well, he's been more folks week of practice than it normally has been, and I feel we're more than ready to play JCA tonight. More than ready.
The grills are in place, and they're going to be grilling up some food. These guys they're ready to go, Mike.
Our community grows through our youth. Cardinal Transport is proud to sponsor tonight's Morris JCA football game.
Back to Morris High School, Mike Williams, to be joined by Jay Zimbalin momentarily, and we've got Mike Hensel with us, who is making his way in and around the stands and over by some of the concession area. And Mike, who do you have tonight so far?
Well, Mike, it would just figure that I would end up over here by the pavilion where they are doing the pork chops tonight, and it's a hard-working bunch over here because they are definitely surrounded. I'm talking to Stan Motter, and he's got both hands flipping pork chops this evening. Stan, how many chops did you bring in tonight for the game?
I heard somewhere between 800 and 1,000.
And you're running low pretty quick, aren't you?
We're down to our last 4 bundles, so I probably maybe 150, 200 left to be cooked.
That's a lot of chops. Now, what do you think of this crowd? You have got quite a few people showed up tonight. A little bit early, in fact. You were selling chops from the minute the gates opened up this evening.
Yes, we were cooking since a little after 4 o'clock, and we're pretty much going to be cooked out by before halftime, I think.
Now, we want to remind everyone that you're just not out here cooking because you enjoy being the master chef. This money all goes someplace, doesn't it?
This money for tonight here goes to the band and to the chorus, to the music group that we're here. Yes, I'm a band parent, and so I'm here working for them.
And you're working your tail off tonight. How many people do we have crammed into the pavilion this evening?
I think she tries to run a shift of about 40 at a shot going in here, it looks like, but I don't know if that's me right now. Now, the band members are back in here earlier, but they've had to go do their duties now to get ready for the play.
Looks like you got a good crew, and for those who are making their way in and they're a little bit hungry, how much for a chop this evening?
Chops are $3.50. I think the chops are $3.50. Yeah, they're a bargain.
They look like a bar. Oh, they smell good, too. I'll tell you what, Mike, good food down here at the pavilion. I'm going to make my way over. Talk about somebody standing in line for chops, and he is definitely in line with a lot of folks, and that's the superintendent of Morris Community High School's Steve Fannin. And, Steve, you have to be pleased to see the game come to Morris tonight. It's on our turf tonight, and we've got a wonderful crowd.
It's always nice to host a home game. We have great fans here in Morris, and JCA brings a great tradition, a great program with them. I think we're evenly matched. We're going to have a great game. Morris will be on the top side when we end.
That is good to hear. I'm glad to hear you saying that. I'll tell you what, the field looks really good tonight, and I know traditionally sometimes, but we've had better weather this year. The field kind of gets torn up, but tonight it's looking really sharp.
Our custodial crew does a great job. They manicure this field, take great care of it, not only during the season but throughout the season. They can't wait to get on it next week after this game is done to begin to prepare for next year. So it's a credit to the hard work of these gentlemen throughout the year.
It is indeed. And you're ready for a Redskin victory?
You bet. It's coming.
And a pork chop. That's coming too.
You bet. That's what I've been waiting for.
Thank you very much. Superintendent Steve Fannin, like the rest of us, waiting for a bite of pork chops. Mike, we'll send things back up to you, and I'll talk to you again in a few minutes here on the field.
Thank you very much, Mike, as we're about 46 minutes away from kickoff tonight. And we'll be talking with Mike in just a little bit. Jay Zimbalin's up here. We'll talk with Jay in a bit, but let's talk a little X's and O's, as we had a chance earlier in the week to talk with the head coach of the Hilltoppers as he gave us his thoughts on tonight's matchup. A lot had been made about how well the Geneva Vikings were playing heading into last week's second-round playoff game against Morris. The Redskins had disposed of Geneva in the season opener 41-19. But the Vikings knew that they had been playing more confidently the last 5 weeks, which had all been wins. However, it was more of the... Dan Sharp joins us, head coach, Joliet Catholic. And Dan, here we are again. This is probably a matchup that neither one of us were really expecting, with the multiplier coming in, and that's a whole other topic for another day. But it was certainly expected that Joliet Catholic would go up a class, as you did. But even though Morris had been kind of a bubble team in 5A, close to that 6A edge in the past, I think a lot of people felt, well, they'll probably stay at least a class apart. But lo and behold, Morris, the smallest school in 6A, and here we are again. I know we're looking forward to it, and a pleasant surprise to get a playoff matchup again this year.
Well, Mike, it's always a great football game, and we have great respect for Morris and their program. I think we really feel it's probably the biggest challenge we've had in 2 years with the great team that Morris has returning. Of course, with Durgo and Cumbie and the rest of those guys, Peters and Boyd are just a great, talented, big, fast football team. And credit to George Durgo that has kept them playing Morris football. And that's always scary when you get a team like Morris that plays with great intensity and great schemes with that talent. So it's going to be for a great matchup. It's our first trip. I believe we look at the record. The last time a Joliet Catholic team was in Morris was 1923. so this is going to be exciting for our fans and our players to come out to Morris and play in that great atmosphere.
Yeah, and we know how the Morris kids are going to respond. They'll be so psyched, and the town is already, of course, waiting for the chance to play JCA in Morris. Give us the flip side. What's your team going through right now? Are they sharing equal emotions? Is this something that they've been looking forward to doing too, even though it is going to be a road game?
Yes, they're very excited about it because, we understand the importance of the Morris football team and the Morris High School to that community. The Morris community supports that school so well, and they're rabid fans. They're there, and they give energy to the team, and it's going to be a unique atmosphere. It's going to be an experience that our kids will remember for a lifetime, to be able to go to a town like Morris with that support, with the great football team, to be able to participate in this event. And it is an event, Mike. It's maybe even a little more than a football game. It's something that the whole state is going to be looking at this game and with great interest. So all that put together, yes, it's a great opportunity for us, and it's something that I think our kids will take with them for the rest of their lives, some wonderful memories from this.
Two teams that are undefeated, ranked 1 and 2 in Class 6A, and the Morris folks have certainly heard, not just this year, but for the last 3, even into the 4th year of John Durgo's exploits, a record-setting season. But no slouch himself, Joe Benson's had quite a run at Joliet Catholic, literally, in a career game last week. Here's a guy over 2,000 yards, nearing 30 touchdowns. Talk about the kind of runner that Joe Benson is.
Well, Joe Benson has great speed, but he has tremendous vision. He's able to see 2 or 3 defenders ahead, and he's got great vision, great cutback ability, and he's got a lot of power. He can run over people. You got 2 very similar styles. We got 2 number 5s that run very similar. They're outstanding runners, combination of speed, strength, and grace, the way they run. So, I think it's going to that's going to be a great matchup, just watching those 2 runners perform on Friday night.
It's funny, neither runner in last year's state title game did a whole lot. Benson with about 45 yards, couple of fumbles. Durgo was held in check to about 60 yards. Turnovers played a big key in that championship game that JCA won a year ago. Obviously, in a game like this, just 1 turnover either way could be a big difference.
Well, these are the games, Mike. As you know, you covered a lot of these type of games that you almost say it's the old cliche: the team that makes the less mistakes will probably going to be the team that wins. So that means taking care of the football. That means taking care of penalties. You don't want penalties to help aid drives, or if you got the ball, you don't want to have a penalty stall a drive. The kicking game, I talk about this consistently with our kids and our coaches. The kicking game in a game like this is huge. It could make or break. It could turn a game around. The thing that it looks fortunate this year around is that it looks like we're going to have very good weather. It seems like we've hit last time downstate. It was a miserable weather day, which I think contributed to some of those turnovers. So with the fact that we'll have nice weather may help in that area, that the teams will take care of the football a little better.
Well, and you look at how your defense will try to stop Morris. Is it, and I don't expect you to open up your playbook here for me, but is that your goal, is to kind of try to do everything you can to stop Durgo and make other guys beat your team?
Well, the thing is, you look at the Morris's team, they have the great tailback in Durgo, and the offense does go through him, but they have other wonderful weapons. Cumbie's as good a player as you're going to see in the country. Not only is he big, but he's got good foot speed for his side. He's very, very athletic. They got the other great players, Monahan, Zambalia. You got your flanker, the Valentine kids, Peterson. So they have many weapons that they can use, and I think George is smart enough to do that. So we have to make sure that we defend everything. Yeah, yes, you want to stop number 5, but nobody has yet this year. But, if we could try and contain him somewhat and keep him in check, and then, we have to be able to move a ball against a very good defense and try and keep the ball out of their hands. If they have the ball all night, it's going to be a tough night for us.
We talked about this, I believe, Dan, it was a few months back before the season, even when the multiplier was officially in effect, and now we know that this is going to end after the fall season. They'll have some new proposals and some new adjustments to it in the future, but what's been the attitude that your coaching staff, yourself, have taken with your team, and how have the players reacted? Do they not really care that much moving up to 6A, having to deal with the multiplier? Are they playing with kind of a chip on their shoulder? What's been the overall attitude, especially in October and November here?
Well, Mike, our attitude is that we'll play wherever they ask us to play. I mean, we feel that our football program can compete, at even, the 7A, 8As, whatever, 6As. We feel we can compete. And, not to say that we're going to win every game or win the state titles at those levels, but I really believe that our kids will work hard in the offseason and prepare themselves, and the coaches will prepare the team to compete. And competition's good, Mike. I always felt that you can play better teams. It's great for the kids to beat those challenges and to try to play the best against the best. And that's why I felt our relationship with Morris has always been. I feel that Morris is another one of those programs that could play at any level. I felt last year after that championship game that there isn't anybody better in the state than Morris. They're as good a football team as you're going to find at any level, anywhere, and as well coached. And I feel the same about this year's team. So the fact that we get a chance to measure ourselves against a quality program, a successful program as Morris, is a great opportunity for us, and we would welcome that at any level. So the only thing that I was always concerned about, Mike, is some of the smaller private schools that may have gotten hurt through this, and maybe they're going to come through with some proposals that will help them. If we move up, we're fine with it. But I'm just concerned about some of these smaller programs that, barely get a chance to get the playoffs and then have to play against these big schools. That's the only thing that I was concerned about. But as far as we're concerned, we look forward to that challenge.
Well, regardless of who wins tonight's game, regardless of next year what class either school is in, there are a couple of regular season matchups between these two teams in Week 2 for the next 2 years, 2006 in Morris, 2007 at JCA. Maybe just a couple quick comments before we let you go, Dan, on how that came about and how much fun that'll be.
First of all, we're really excited. And Mike, it came about when George Durgo called a few weeks back. It was towards the end of the regular season, and said that, they're open Week 2, and because of Morris's success, it's hard to find games. And we've been through that as well. Because of our success, it's hard to find games. So he said, how about the two of us get together? And I said, that'd be great. He said, there's a few things they got to do yet, and the administration will give me a call, and they did. About a week or two later, gave a call, and we got the contract set, and it's just going to make for a great regular season game. It's a great measure. It'll be our last game before we go into our conference, so we're really looking forward to it, and it'll be. It's going to be a lot of fun, and the fact that we got 2-year contract, I think it's going to be great for our fans and our communities.
Realty World, Caden & Associates has been
95.7 WJDK. We're about 33 minutes away from kickoff. Morris and Joliet Catholic as we continue on our expanded pregame show. We've got a feature from the stands coming up in a moment, and Jay Zambalin has joined me as well. Jay, a quick thought on the evening tonight?
I'm still trying to find some Valium or something to calm my nerves a little bit, but I'll tell you what, one of the things that just is amazing is when you look out and see the crowds of people. I think that's the big thing right now. Just amazed at the amount of people that are just coming into this place is awesome.
Well, we're looking forward to it, and it'll be here before we know it. Let's go out to one of those fans that's standing by with our very own Mike Hensel. Mike, this is a familiar face.
Yes, sir. It's a very familiar face, and it's one that has been familiar to the fans in Morris for over 40 years. It's our own Dick Steele, Sunday show host on WCSJ. And Dick, we were down here talking, and the first broadcast of the Morris Redskins on WCSJ radio 41 years ago, and you were there.
Yep, Pontiac and Morris. That was an undefeated team.
Now, one of the things we were talking about is you said that in all the years you've been here, you've never seen a crowd this large at this field.
You're right. They always said Plano game was the biggest one, and they had estimates of 8,000 people. I found out today it was only 3,600 was the enrollment there. Now this is, without a doubt, this is state championship football here. You won't find a bigger crowd down at Illinois State, or Illinois, I should say, University, than this.
Now, you've seen a lot of them come and a lot of them go. How does this team rank in your eyes with the Redskin teams that have come before them?
Well, I think we've got 3 Division I players on this team. I wouldn't say it's got to rank right there with the very best. There's no doubt about it. And if they win this game, they're going to prove a lot.
I believe they will. Some of the other things I think I was talking about earlier, the condition of the field seems to be better this year than I've seen it in quite a long while, especially getting into the playoffs. They've really done a good job out here tonight.
Well, the weather's been beautiful, too, this year. We haven't had a lot of rain or changing weather, so it's been able to keep the good grass and everything out here. So, yeah, the field looks terrific tonight. They got the big M out in the middle here, and what a setting.
Now, I know normally you save your football prognostications for Sunday morning, but we're going to ask you to pick a winner tonight. What do you see coming up this evening?
Well, I always get nervous about this. You know, they both got big, high-powered offenses and both got good defenses. I really think it's going to be an offensive show. 37-36 Morris.
There you go, Mike. 37-36 Morris is the prediction from Dick Steele. I think Dick's got his finger right on the pulse of things down here in the stands.
Well, he's had that seat for many years, and certainly a seat up in this press box for many years as well, Mike. Thank you very much. As we're 30 minutes away from kickoff, Morris and Joliet Catholic, and Tim Smith joins us now from the Morris Daily Herald. And Tim, I know you've seen these games, at least the modern era games, back to 1990. Such a great rivalry. Maybe that first game wasn't as close as some of these most recent ones, but these two teams get together. It's always within a touchdown or so, and unfortunately for Morris over the years, they've just come up a little bit short. Do you think the home field advantage gives them a little bit of an edge tonight to at least get that a little bit closer?
Well, it's certainly definitely a different look. I mean, it's what Morris people have wanted all these years. You know, we played up there at Memorial Stadium, which is a great facility, but it always felt that, you know, we'd like to see them come down here, and we get the chance to see that now. And judging by what I see here, this is going to be an electric crowd and a great game.
I talked to George Durgo. We'll hear this a little bit later on in the pregame interview. If there's a chance that the Morris players, as they start to take the field here, can they channel all of this energy in a positive way, completely positive way, or do they come out here, they see this crowd, they know the moment, and maybe it overwhelms them a little bit?
I don't think so. These kids are really well grounded. The senior captains have done a great job all year and making sure they stay level-headed. I mean, I think they've played in big games over the years, and this group has played in a big game last year. I don't think they're going to be intimidated by this.
Some of the moments that you remember from this series, mostly negative ones for Morris as far as some of those great finishes, but what stands out from these 5 games that you've seen?
Well, I tell you, the Mike Allstott game, the very first one, just JCA had a far superior team that day, but Morris went out and just played the game of their lives, and they just came up short, and that game was actually closer than the final score indicates, but just getting to see a back like Mike Allstott, and, you know, that stands out. You know, the other games, like you say, all very close, usually on a turnover or something like that. Everybody remembers the weather conditions last year. You know, basically the Allstott game stands out the most just because they probably should have smeared us by a lot more than that, and they didn't. We held our own till late in the third quarter, and then they started to pull away.
Now you talk about the weather, almost on cue about an hour or so ago, the wind picked up here at Morris. Just like in the last couple of days at Champaign, it's kind of hampered the passing game a bit, and it was almost as if Joliet Catholic turned a switch, and here comes 20-mile-an-hour winds.
Well, it actually reminds me of the missed kick at the last in the last second. That, of course, stands out too. I was not a reporter at that time, but I bought a ticket and had my fanny in the stands, just like 7,000 to 10,000 people are here tonight sitting in the stands, you know. I was just a regular fan in the stands, and it's unique because as a writer, I'm supposed to be unbiased, but I like to go to a game and root as much as everybody else, and that was the only time I've ever been to a Morris game and actually been able to yell and hoot and holler a little bit.
You got a nice head of hair on your on the top of your head, but that's in jeopardy with a couple more Morris wins, isn't it?
Well, I've been saying all along, I would love to be wrong. I mean, I would be the most happy camper ever to be strapped down into a chair and have it shaved up into a nice mohawk, and I have no problem with that. I'm not saying they can't win tonight. It's just the 6A class is very tough, and that's not with Joliet. I mean, that's just every team in 6A. So, you know, they do have a couple more steps left, but, you know, I hope I do have to wear it.
Finally, speaking of hats, you had a hat on tonight, and a hat's off to you guys over at the Morris Daily Herald Sports section.
Well, thank you very much. Illinois Press Association recently recognized us for first place in our category. We take a great deal of pride with our sports section, and a lot of people involved in that. Mike Cuniff won for column writing first place award. Very nice. Mark Johnson's been helping out tremendously. Mark Malone has done a great job. Casey Toner's been kicking in lately, and most of all, I want to thank Patrick Graziano because he's given me the freedom and has the faith in my ability to do what we've done, and I hope we can make the community proud. That's as much as these Morris Redskins have done over the years.
Well, Tim, it's been fun being up in the press box with you this year, and in all the years we usually have a couple of laughs before the game and have a good time with it. So thanks for joining us tonight, and have a great time tonight.
Thank you very much.
Tim Smith, TG from the Morris Daily Herald. Getting set for the big ball game. We're just 25 minutes away. We'll take a break, come back with more on our expanded pregame show next on 95.7.
Rehabilitation in Coal City. Reliable, expert health care at your back door.
George Durgo is with us, head coach of the Morris Redskins. The big ball game tonight in Morris. 7 o'clock kick, closing in on that start time here with Morris and Joliet Catholic. The winner goes to the 6A semifinals. And George, let's start first with a quick recap of last week. You know, a lot had been made about Geneva and how well they have been playing the last 5 weeks of the season or so as they've been racking up some wins, gaining some confidence. Their quarterback had said, boy, I really feel good throwing the football. I feel confident with my offense. We're hoping for a better outcome, but it was more of the same. John got his touchdown runs, great balance on offense, running the football, and a methodical win. It wasn't the quick 21 points in the first few minutes kind of a win, but you slowly but surely pulled away and just had another strong effort last week.
And then that's the way we're going to play it. You know, you're getting into the playoffs. You're separating the top teams in the state, and you know, you have to stick with your ball game, and that's exactly what we did. You saw we didn't try to fake anybody out or get anything fancy going for ourselves. We just lined up and said, here we are, we're going to play football. And when it all boils down to that, we're going to play a game of patience, protect the ball, control the ball, block, and tackle.
I think it was important, too, to see Matt Peterson have the kind of game he did as Geneva tried to stop John, but you're able to roll out Matt, number 9, and he amassed over 100 yards, led the team in rushing, and it seemed every time he touched the ball, it was a double-digit gain.
Well, you start keying on one guy, you start keying on Duro over there. And we've known that all along. It's no secret here in Morris that we got Matt Peterson and even Justin Gordon and Brenton Valentine. Those guys can open it up, and they know what to do when they got the football in their hands. And you just saw some of the talent that Matt Peterson had. And when he runs the ball, he's a ton. You know, he's near 200 pounds, and he's you know, one of our fastest guys. You know, him and Durgo are our two fastest guys on our team. Those guys can fly, and we showed what Matt Peterson had. He just stepped up and said, give me the ball. I'll take it.
All right, so give us an outlook on how this week has gone practice-wise. Give me a bit of a look at the you know, intensity that this team has had, the focus for this most monumental of games.
Well, we had the same practices we've always had. The kids came out, and you know, we had practice as normal. We were pretty relaxed and focused on what we needed to do in the practice time, but it wasn't so intense that we couldn't get anything done. It wasn't so relaxed we couldn't get anything done. For us, it was a normal week of practice. The kids take it as it's another ball game. We know it's going to be a lot of the crowd and a lot of people getting all whooped up about it, but they know what they have to do. They got to take care of business, and they got to play a football game here Friday night, and that's basically the way they took it. It wasn't anything out of the normal for what we did in practice. The kids handled it the same as they have every other game.
The last few times that these two teams have hooked up, especially if you take into account the state championship level atmosphere, certainly the Morris players are keyed up in that kind of setting, but this is the first time that it'll be played at Morris, as we all know. The energy level in that first quarter is going to be tremendous. Couple of questions here, George. Is it a concern at all that the team will be so pumped up that they might expend too much energy and be a little gassed early on because of the emotional level? And secondly, with the emotion the way it is it a case where there could be some negative vibes from that maybe they're trying too hard to impress the home crowd and trying too hard to get this win on the home field? Any concerns that these kinds of emotions will be in a negative way at all for your team?
Well, that could always happen. Anything can happen when you're dealing with kids at this age and the approach of the game. But well, we've been working on that the whole year, and that, I think, is a big part of my job, keeping where we're under control, but we're fired up and do the things we can do, and they know that. And all they got to do is use everything that they have in their power. They got to listen. They got to pay attention. They got to be focused. They got to talk to each other and take it as what it is, because there's going to be a little bit of difference. We met Joliet Catholic in their stadium, and that's a big stadium. People are back out of the way, up in the stands, and even though there's a lot of people, they're kind of up and out of the way over there in Memorial Stadium. And then you get down to Champaign, and it's the same thing. You put 10 or 12,000 people, it seems like the place is empty, but there's a lot of people. They're all back up and out of it. Tonight, there's going to be people right down on you. It'd be like there's 1,000 people on the field playing the game. So, I mean, it's going to be a lot more compact area, a lot more pressure coming from the crowd, and that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to overcome that and be able to adjust to what goes on, and it's going to be loud, and it's going to be an electric atmosphere, but that's something that we look at as positive for us. This is what all the little kids in Morris have grown up playing backyard football. They've played in the lower levels with the Chiefs and the Warriors, and this is the game that you look forward to. So you don't spoil it for yourself by getting caught up in all that. It's a football game. It's kids playing football. And I said it's just another backyard game, but here we're in our backyard. So let's get after it, and don't let those emotions and those feelings get in the way of you performing as a player.
I know first and foremost the team, the coaches are trying to get this win for the school, for the team to advance, and that's the bottom line. But there's got to be a sense maybe in the back of your mind, George, that there's an awful lot of teams throughout the state that's rooting for Morris tonight as well. Does that enter in at all as you think about this game and the importance of what a win would mean?
Well, a lot of people have called, and a lot of people have given their suggestions and given us the pep talk and given us the rally cry. And there's a lot of people on our side. But anytime you go against a program like Joliet, with their big win streak, their number of state titles, there's a lot of people that are pulling for Morris just for the sake of pulling against a team like Joliet Catholic, who's definitely, we're the underdogs coming in on our home field. And a lot of people get into that kind of thing. To me, we're going to go out and play a football game. And, if you keep it as simple as that, it'll be a good time. And if everybody's on our side, that's great. And if not, we're still going to do the same thing.
Let's break it down a little bit X and O wise. Let's look at the Joliet Catholic offense. We know about their running game. It's been tremendous for years and years. The misdirection, trying to keep focus on who has the football. They're very adept at kind of working that deceiving fake handoff here, handoff to the other wing. How do you keep your defense patient and kind of staying where they need to be and not overcommitting to a fake handoff?
Well, that's, again, concentration. They got to be able to concentrate. They got to be able to put the crowd in the background and focus on what they're doing. And, like we told them, tackle everybody. Somebody's got to have the ball. Plug the holes, get to your assignments, do your job, fill the gap, tackle anybody that's around you, and play as hard as you can possibly play. And that's what we got. Everybody has an assignment. All defenses are built to beat an offense, and all offenses are built to beat a defense. And we just hope that we got them in the right spots at the right times, and then they got to make the plays. And we got players that we think can make the plays, and we got a lot of players that we think can make the plays, and that's what we're going to expect out of them.
Joliet Catholic is ranked in the nation at number 4. They've won so many state titles, 30-game win streak, and this is your first year as varsity coach, but you've certainly helped as an assistant through all of these matchups over the past however many years. From what you've seen with JCA, how good is this team compared to previous teams that Morris has faced?
I think they got one of the top teams they've had, and they obviously are putting up the numbers on their offense. It's one of the top offenses that they've ever had. But, their defense has been suspect at times, but I'll tell you what, they still got a real tough defense. And they're one of the better teams that Joliet Catholic's had, and they know that they have to prove that, too. They don't win a state title, all that, how good of a team they have will all go down the tubes if they don't win another state title. And we're standing right in their way, and they know that. And we're stepping up to the challenge, and our kids want to say, hey, we're the best Morris team that's ever walked on the field, too. And if we don't get to the goal of a state championship, then we can't brag about that. And, the town will continue, and the school will go on, and everything will go as normal. But we want to have a little bit of bragging rights against those state championship teams. And kids meet the guys in the streets and get stopped by them all the time and say, let's go. And that's what it is. That's what it's all about around Morris. So let's get bigger, let's get better, and let's prove that we're on top of the game.
Finally, George, if you could give us what you feel are the main keys for a Morris win tonight.
Well, like I said, we got to control the ball. We got to eliminate penalties. We got to eliminate turnovers. We got to block. We got to step up our blocking. Block is better than we have in the past because it's going to be a better team, and we're going to have to tackle better than we have because it's a better team. We got to step up our blocking, our tackling, take care of the ball, watch for the penalties, and just come out and play Morris football. And that's what I stress to them all the time. Forget the rest of the stuff. What goes on in between those lines is going to dictate what happens in the game, and that's where we're going to play the game.
How many people have asked you for tickets for tonight?
How many people? It's not how many people ask me for the tickets, how many tickets people are asking me for. You don't ever get, hey, can I get a ticket? Can I get 15 or 20 of those tickets? I say, well, we're at the office, and the high school, they've done such a great job with the administration and everything that's gone on, and the school knows it. They see people coming in and out, and it's just been streams of people coming in and out of the high school, and I think that's a great atmosphere for our kids to understand that how much work we've put into this, that it comes down to this game right here on our home field, and they're all on our side.
George, we're looking forward to it. Give them a good game tonight, all right?
Okay, we'll see you there, Mike. I hope you have fun.
There's nothing like having first mid... A lot had been made about how well the Geneva Vikings were playing heading into last week's second-round playoff game against Morris. The Redskins had disposed of Geneva in the season opener 41-19. But the Vikings knew that they had been playing more confidently the last 5 weeks, which had all been wins. However, it was more of the same against Morris as the Redskins methodically worked their way to a 32-6 win. Matt Peterson led the way with 114 yards rushing, and John Durgo added 4 touchdowns on the night. 3rd and 2 from the 5. Here's Durgo off the right side. Durgo, touchdown! The Morris defense took advantage of 3 Viking turnovers for the win. If Morris was looking ahead to Joliet Catholic, it didn't show. Numbers-wise, John Durgo has long since obliterated the Morris record book, and now he's rewriting the IHSA record book as well. Durgo is now the record holder for most points scored in a career, currently at 703, 57 ahead of second place. He's tied for first place in state history for touchdowns in a career with 104. He is now the all-time leader for points scored in one season with 329. And he is currently 6th all-time in rushing yards with 53-52, 275 yards away from 4th place. If Durgo can help substantially pad those numbers tonight, there will be a lot of celebrating in Morris. We all know the recent history. In 1990, the first-round matchup between these two teams went to current NFL bruising back Mike Allstott and the Hilltoppers 36-10. Allstott, who at the time was built very similarly to John Durgo at 6'1", 190, rushed for 195 yards and 3 scores. The teams didn't meet again until 9 years later. Morris hung with JCA. They drove for a last-minute game-winning field goal, but a tackle for a loss on a sweep by Catholic pushed Morris further back to their field goal try, which turned out to be key.
Kaler will kick it. This is a 34-yard attempt to give Morris the lead. Good snap placement made. Kaler's kick is on the way, and it is no good. He missed it wide to the right, and Joliet Catholic takes over with 49 seconds
years later in Champaign, Morris trailed by 7 in the state title game against JCA, but marched down the field in the closing seconds looking for a score that would have been followed by a 2-point try for the win. But JCA stopped Morris 4 times from the 10-yard line, including this one on the last play.
Here we go. 4th down, 57 seconds left. Morris down by 7. The ball at the Joliet Catholic 10.5. Here's the snap to Kennedy. Benji rolling right. Stops. Comes back to the middle. Sprints to the left side. Kennedy going to try to pump one. Throws. Diving attempt. Incomplete. Joliet Catholic takes over on down.
In 2003, Morris led by 3 midway through the 4th at Joliet until...
Take from 4, give to McEwen. Jumps over the defender. McEwen on his feet. There he goes. McEwen to the 30, down to the 20. McEwen to the 10, 5. Touchdown for Joliet Catholic.
And last year in Champaign, Morris never got on track. An early JCA punt pinned Morris at their 2-yard line. And little did we know then that this next play was all JCA would need.
Jones on a 2nd down and 10. Fumbles the football. It's in the end zone. Joliet Catholic says they have it, and they do. It is a touchdown, Hilltoppers. Wow. The game's first mistake committed by the Redskins, and it's the most costliest of mistakes. 6 points for Joliet Catholic midway through the first.
For years, Morris fans have longed for the chance to get JCA in Morris. Tonight they get that chance. But there are many that feel that this could be JCA's best team in a long, long time, and that playing in Morris won't matter. Ranked 4th in the nation, riding a 30-game winning streak, there's no secret to the Hilltoppers' success. They love to run the football, and they've got a number 5 setting rushing records as well. Joe Benson is over 2,000 yards for the season after a single-game rushing record set last week as he amassed 363 yards in a win over Batavia. Morris head coach George Durgo talks about what it's going to take for Morris to get a win.
We got to step up our blocking, our tackling, take care of the ball, watch for the penalties, and just come out and play Morris football. And that's what I've stressed to him all the time. Forget the rest of the stuff. What goes on in between those lines is going to dictate what happens in the game, and that's where we're going to play the game.
The biggest crowd ever to attend a Morris home game is expected, as the marquee matchup in the state of Illinois is just moments away from getting underway. The 6A quarterfinals. Morris, Joliet Catholic. Next. Split wide left, receiver wide to the right, Cumbie wing on the right side. Here's the take, and here comes Durgo off the right side. John working his way to the middle, breaks free to the 40, gets around the near side 50, to the 40, near side 30, got a blocker in front to the 20. Durgo makes a cutback move to the 10, to the 5, touchdown! It's time now for Morris Redskin playoff football, the quarterfinals against Joliet Catholic. Coverage brought to you in part by Greenway Motors, DJ's BP, Realty World Caton & Associates, Morris Trailer and Hitch Sales, Illinois Truck and Equipment, Century 21 Coleman Hornsby, First Midwest Bank, BP of Morris and Buddy's Place, Shamlin and Associates, Midwest Auto Service, the City of Morris, Hair to Please You, Resin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Powerhouse Gym, The Fabric Center, Morris Coin Shop, Bill Jacobs, Collision Revision, Country Insurance and Financial Services Agent Dean Tambling, Fox Builders, Countrywide Home Loans, Grundy Bank, Mike's Paint, Paper, and Frames.
There's the 45-50, 45-40, 35-30, heading to the near side to the 20. He's going to take it all the way. Touchdown, Hennig!
The crowd has gone nuts. Wow.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome in. We are set for football finally. The build-up is just over with as the Morris Redskins and the Hilltoppers of Joliet Catholic set to tangle in a 6A quarterfinal. Good evening. Mike Williams joined by Jay Zimbalin. Jay, my heart's pumping pretty fast. I'm sure yours is too. Let's get this thing going.
Let's get down there and let's get playing. I'll tell you what what an unbelievable a football scenario. I mean, this is truly one of the, I think, once-in-a-lifetime games that you and I and these kids, the football players and the fans have been involved in. Just a fantastic setting here, and this is so exciting. It's unbelievable. But you're right. Let's strap it up. Let's get down to business and let's get going with this thing right now.
Well, as far as this game shapes up, X's and O's wise, I mean, we know that Joliet Catholic loves to run the football. They're very good at deceiving when they're trying to hand off. It's either a fake handoff left, fake handoff right. Kind of hard for the defense to follow who's got the football. And George Durgo said in the pregame show, they're just going to try to tackle everybody, figuring someone's going to have the football.
Well, and you're absolutely right. Now, one of the things, you know, with their jerseys, it's always been a thing that I've noticed in years past is they always have a brown jersey when they're playing up at the stadium, which makes it very, very difficult to find that football, the brown football against those brown jerseys. They got all white jerseys. That should certainly help tonight, but you're right. And I think the way George is going to play tonight is the fact that he's going to say, hey, if you guys are going to beat us, you're going to have to beat us by the pass, because we're going to bring the guys up. We're stepping the cornerbacks up. We're going to make them act as outside linebackers almost, and you're going to have to beat us by the pass. And I think that's what his game plan is tonight. Just go in there and just collapse on people and shut the holes down and knock people down. That's what you got to do. Just knock them on the ground, clog the holes, and make that runner do something else other than run at the hole that he wants to.
This whole season, we've talked about the fact that there might come a night where Donovan Monahan is going to have to win a football game for the Redskins. That could be tonight. The Redskins certainly are going to try to run with John Durgo, and JCA knows that. Morris might try Peterson here or there, Valentine here or there, but there's going to come a point where Donovan's going to have to go back, make some plays. And just on cue, the wind picked up about an hour or so ago, which doesn't make things much easier.
Well, you know what? It's still the great fireworks going off right now, as a matter of fact, and what an awesome set of fireworks. But getting back to the game, yeah, I think Donovan tonight is going to certainly have to have a big day tonight. I'll tell you what, talking to Coach Durgo, though, his first thing is he wants to run that. I mean, he wants to get right out there, and he's told me several times this week that nobody's really come out and try to run at this team. Well, we have the weapons tonight to do that. We've got the size on the line. I think that's what he wants to try to do right now, is go right at him, run at him, push the ball, and then, as you said, I think they're going to try to put the ball in the air as well, get some short passes, and get the passing game going here tonight.
Joliet Catholic's going to get the football first. They will be moving from right to left, as Jay mentioned, in the road whites with the brown numbers and helmets. Morris Redskins in the home maroon with the maroon pants. We don't have an estimate on how many people are here. We know that heading into tonight, they had sold over 6,000 tickets. Quite a bit of a group coming in as a walk-up crowd as well. And they're all the way around. Even they put some fencing up beyond the south end zone. They're wrapped around there, and they're about 20 or 30 deep, headed towards the field house off to the northwest corner.
Well, I tell you, this is a game of all games, you know, and really it's a shame. And I was hoping when during these picks and the pairings, I was really hoping these two teams would be in the finals. What a great showdown at state. But hey, they're here, and here we go. So let's get this ball rolling.
Durgo kicks it off to the 5-yard line. Taking it up the field for Joliet Catholic is McEwen. He'll cross the 20 and takes it to about the 23-yard line, where Joliet Catholic will set it up 1st and 10. Bill McEwen, the quarterback, he'll also rotate in occasionally with John Rudiger, a sophomore. McEwen, 1,137 yards rushing, 16 touchdowns through the air, 367 yards and 5 scores. Joe Benson, 2,100 yards, 363 of them last week, 4 touchdowns. He's number 5, 29 touchdowns on the year, averaging 13.5 yards a carry.
And Mike, as you've seen it in the past now, it's going to take these guys a few plays to really get acclimated and get adjusted to this running game.
From the 23-yard line, here's a handoff to Benson, and he'll get a couple of yards out near the 25 or 6. James Zimbalin helps bring him second down after a gain of about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7 for Morris, and Dane out there again on the line. How did he do that first week in his estimation?
No, I think he did pretty well. And again, getting in there for the first time at nose tackle, I think he was pleased with his play. George Durgel obviously was pleased with his play. He got Defensive Player of the Week. But I tell you what, they've done some adjustments here tonight. Andy Peterson has, and I like what they've done. They put Dane at one defensive end. They put Haas at the other defensive end. And this Haas is a player. He is a big-time player. He's going to make some big plays here tonight.
Funk, Farber, and Cumbie join him on the line. Redskins show blitz. Couple of linebackers up near the line. Now they drop off on 2nd down and 7. Man in motion from the right wing. Flags are down. This could be motion on the Hilltoppers as a handoff comes near side for Dan Bratton, and he'll be taken out of bounds by Durgo near the first down marker, but this could come back.
Well, it was definitely motion. And I jumped offside, so that's a big break for Morris.
Illegal shift is the call. It'll make it 2nd down and 12. Big hole on that running play that would have had pretty close to a first down for Bratton, who's got 671 yards and 12 touchdowns on the year.
Well, that's absolutely, Mike. Everybody talks about Joe Benson, but you got Bratton, who they say is the fastest player on that team. And he's got some lightning speed, very quick. So they got to keep their eyes open, getting and containing these guys. And again, Dane got his first taste out there, defense end, guys coming down on him, crashing down. So he's got to be ready for that at defensive end.
2nd down and 12. Man in motion from the left side, that's Benson. Here's the take from McEwen. Hand off to the right side, and not much across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. A short run for Bratton. The Redskins setting JC up with a 3rd and long.
Well, I'll tell you what, Matt Peterson does a great job that time. And again, Matt Peterson, not the biggest guy on there, 5'11", 192, but what he does is very well. Great technique. He gets down, just what I talked about before the first of the game. Hits him at the legs, clogs the hole, and was able to still make the tackle.
3rd and 11 JCA, opening possession. Hilltoppers move right to left, the ball at their 23-yard line. Same formation. Benson again trots in motion from the left wing. It's a botched snap. Ball may have come loose. McEwen picks it up at the last second, then he is taken down for a loss of a couple of yards as the Hilltoppers had trouble getting that snap and handoff executed. The ball's back to the 20, a loss of 3.
And you know, they haven't had this Billy McEwen, who is a quarterback. He was a running back. They've converted him to the quarterback. The quarterback's been hurt. They moved him to the quarterback, and through recent conversations, he has fumbled the ball several times. So they got an opportunity here tonight, maybe to recover a couple fumbles and take advantage of that.
So on 4th and long,
again.
Benson back to punt. He'll get a line drive kick that goes over. Valentine said he let it go, and it'll bounce near the 30-yard line as Valentine, I don't know if he was ready for that punt. He wasn't back very deep, and the ball goes over his head. It's going to be a 1st and 10 Morris from about their 29.
Yeah, that's all right. That's a tough punt to field, but that's okay. Hey, this is where they're going to start from, and boy, I'd like nothing more than to start this drive at about the 30-yard line and have about a 70-yard drive to start the game with a score.
Well, the Redskins would love to take time off the clock, limit JCA's possessions. And they'll see if they can do that with some runs. But, of course, number 14 is going to play a big part tonight. Donovan Monahan, 55% completion percentage, 1,238 yards. He's thrown 9 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. And we all know about John Durgo, 2,277 yards, 39 rushing touchdowns. He's averaging over 11 yards a carry. As the Redskins now, I believe, have been penalized for the holding call. It's going to move the football back to the 19-yard line.
Well, I don't understand that call. But you know what I don't understand is they didn't call a motion down here. And it was clearly a motion.
Redskins line up in an I backfield with Durgo the tailback, Gordon the fullback. Receivers split wide to the right. Zambalin wide left, Cumbie a wing to the right side. Here's a take give to Durgo. A little bit of room out to the left.
Here we go.
Durgo to the far side, to the 40, to the 50. Durgo might take it all the way. Durgo, he's going to go. Touchdown for John Durgo.
Here he goes. My, oh my, oh my.
81 yards on the first play from scrimmage for the Redskins. And Morris takes a 6-0 lead.
Oh my, and I said it. I said, what a great way to start this game if we could take it down and score. Don't kid me. I'll tell you what. There was some confidence in this. There was some big-time confidence with these players this week, Mike. Everybody said it. The coach felt it. The players coached it. The players felt it. And I'll I'll tell you what, they feel very confident that they can play with these guys here tonight, and what an outstanding job. And I'll tell you what, Joliet Catholic, if they don't think Durgle's the real deal, they just found out now he's the real deal.
The Sun-Times Player of the Year scores on the first play from scrimmage. He's out that extra point, and he got it. 7-0 Morris early in the first. WJDK.
As the 2005 football season continues, the city of Morris and Mayor Dick Kupchik wish Morris Redskins football team good luck. The city of believes that hard work and dedication of team members, their families, and coaches will come far. Enjoy the game and good luck, Redskins.
UTI Systems Incorporated now has a D4555 DSL at UTI. Local service, local support.
Teed up at the 40-yard line. He has put Morris on top in a hurry. An 81-yard run on the first play from scrimmage. And Durgo launches the kickoff 6 yards deep in the end zone.
Well, I'll tell you what, we talked about George Durgo. You heard him on the radio. I think he's talking to Dick Steele. And, he, as he said, he gets out there and kicks until 10 or 15 in practice. But you can tell the adrenaline's really moving now. He booted that one about 8 yards into the end zone.
We should congratulate John Durgo as well for becoming the all-time leading touchdown maker in the state of Illinois with 105 touchdowns. He's setting records all up and down that record sheet throughout the state of Illinois. John Durgo, as JCA takes over first and 10 at the 20. Here's the take, handoff to Benson. Starts to the right, cuts it back to the left. He'll get 2 or 3 out to the 23-yard line. Second down and 7 or 8 coming up after a gain of just a couple. And Valentine in on the stop for Morris. They'll give him 3.
And that's what Joe Benson does so well with his quickness, his speed, his power. He cuts back, and that's why he gains so many yards. He's a great full head-on runner, but he has that knack, as Durgle does, to fight in the hole, stop and wait for his block. He's a very good runner.
Second down and 7 now as McEwen under center for the Hilltoppers. Quick hitter up the middle, and not much across the 25 to the 26. The fullback, Piasinski, gets the run for a couple. It'll be 3rd and about 5 here for Joliet Catholic as their second possession after a punt on their first drive, no first downs, and of course Morris, 1 play, 81-yard touchdown.
Yeah, I'll tell you what a great play there by John Durham coming up from the linebacking position, staying in his hole and coming up and making a big hit. And again, you got some Billy Vanderveer and Kyle Caperta, great linebackers. They need to stay home and watch for that cutback.
3rd down and 4 for the Hilltoppers, moving right to left. Double wings, one of them in motion. McEwen with a handoff to that wing, spinning away and near a first down. Good arm tackle by Cumbie across the 30, but it's enough for a first, a gain of 5 yards on the run for Herbatin.
Well, I'll tell you what, when he runs, you know he's going to get hit, and he got his head slammed on the turf. That'll wake him up a little bit. And, I said this before, every team that plays Morris, when you leave this football field, you know you played a football team, because the Morris guys, one thing they'll say about it, these guys hit, and they'll put a shot on you.
So, fresh set of downs here for Joliet Catholic. We've got 7 minutes to go in the first, 7-0 Morris. 6A quarterfinal. Double wing set, one in the backfield, wingman in motion, Herbatin. He'll take the handoff running left, tries to hurdle a defender, gets pushed down at the 35-yard line, a gain of 3 right up the middle. No passing attempts yet for Joliet Catholic. Don't expect a whole lot of them unless, of course, maybe they get down by a bunch. But they will just pound it away at you. And they've got 2nd and 7 coming up.
Well, pretty good job that time by Dane. Again, watching the defensive end. And all these guys are doing a much better job tonight. They know tonight you can't hit up high because they'll throw you right off. So these guys are going at their legs, clogging those holes, and that's what you need to do against this Joliet team.
2nd down and 7. Backs are split behind McEwen. Wingman starts in motion to take, give to Herbatin, and then he hands off to Benson. And the Redskins ready for it as they stop Benson after a gain of just 1 out to the 36-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 5.
Well, I'll tell you what, that left side of that defensive line, Jamie Cumbie, Viv Vanderveer, they were right there. I'll tell you, doing an awesome job of making that tackle.
The winner of tonight's game takes on the winner of Crystal Lake South at Cary Grove. They're playing tonight as well. That's a 2 out of 1. If Morris wins tonight, they will be on the road regardless of who they play next week.
Yeah, I didn't think we'd be on the road. I didn't think we'd have 4 home games in a row.
Third down, about 5.5 for Joliet Catholic from their own 36-yard line. Wingman in motion, Benson from the left side. He'll take the handoff, trying to run to the right. Benson pushing towards the first down. He's a yard short as he's across the 40 to the 41. A gain of 5, but he needed almost 6.
Yeah, I think he's a little short of that, actually. I think he's 2 or 3 yards short.
Brenton Valentine gets the stop. 4th and 1. Decision time for Dan Sharp.
Well, he's going to go for it. Boy, what a big play here, huh? What a big play defensively Morris could make if they can make a stop here. Come on, guys.
4th down, about a yard to go. Joliet Catholic lining up to go for it from their 41-yard line.
They got a big center, so watch it, their quarterback sneak.
Backs are split. Here's the take. Give to Benson. Benson pushing forward. He got it. Out to the 45. He gains 4. Just put his head down behind his lineman and pushed ahead for enough for the first down.
You know, and that's okay. I'll tell you what, one of the things you want to be leery of is having your defense out there a long time, but they're taking a lot of time off the clock. I don't think there's going to be a lot of scoring here. So the fact that they're eating some time up, Morse has got that 7-0 lead, helps. But they need to get a stop here. Stop Joliet Catholic, and again, take the ball and just march it right down the field again.
Well, that's where George Durgo's point about being not upset, but, you know, he wants his offense to have long 5-6-minute drives, and then John breaks a big one, gets that defense right back out there. And now McEwen on a roll. He's going to keep it. And he's got room to run. McEwen to the far side, 40. Cuts it back, 35. Spins away from Valentine. Being chased from behind. Gets a block, and he's going to go in for the touchdown. That's 55 yards for McEwen on a quarterback keeper around to the right. A natural running back, and he takes it the distance to hold it within 1.
Well, and that's what they're going to do here all night long. Again, you teach the defensive ends they got to stay home. They know they're going to do that. They're going to hand off up the middle, and they're going to reverse it. That's why I said that quarterback, it was a running back, McEwen. You've got to stay at home on the defensive end. You cannot get sucked inside.
Shane Keene on the extra point. Snap is there. The kick is on the way, and it is good. 7-7, 4.5 to go in the first on JDK.
Here to please you wishes Redskins good luck in their playoff game against Joliet Catholic. Here to please you, owned and operated by Anita Flint, is serving.
With Jay Zimbala, Mike Williams back at Morris High School. Quite a start to this one. John Durgo, an 81-yard touchdown run on their first and only play from scrimmage. And then Joliet Catholic responds with a 55-yard run from Bill McEwen.
Well, we just got a personal flag, and okay, I guess they're just giving him a warning right now. But I saw Coach Durgo down there, John, with the referee. I said, oh, geez, starting the game, and he's already throwing him a flag. But he's giving him one warning, so...
Players on the field a little too much, or what? He was signaling to get back.
Yeah, I think they were throwing the flag that the players are too close to the field. So, but boy, I saw that. I saw the coach and the referee jawing at each other. I thought, oh, geez, he's got a flag already. But thank goodness they were just waving him to get back a little bit.
Valentine, Peterson, Durgo await this kick. It's headed towards Durgo, who will get under it at about the 20-yard line. 25, Durgo 30, 35, Durgo to the 40-yard line. A good run back for John. And a 1st and 10 for the Redskins in a 7-7 game.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you see him run to him, he makes the hit. I mean, he reminds me so much of Walter Payton because he just delivers a blow. He delivered a blow that time to the would-be tackler, and, that tackler gets out thinking, holy moly, I may have to think twice before I tackle him again, because John Durgo does put a hit on you.
So here's Morris now, moving left to right, late stages, first quarter. 7-7 the score. John Durgo electrified the crowd even more with that first carry, 81-yard run. See what they do on their second possession. Receivers split to both sides for Morris. Cumbie wingman to the right. Gordon the fullback with Durgo the trailer. Monahan under center on 1st and 10 for the Redskins. Here's the take, and here comes Durgo. To the left, Durgo tries to push forward back to the line of scrimmage. He'll be stopped for a loss of 1. Same play he scored the touchdown on. That time the Hilltoppers were ready.
Yeah, they were, and that they went right back to that play again, and I think they're just going to continue to try to run this ball. And I think that's a good move. I do think, however, as you said, Mike, I think they need to get some passing in there, kind of mix it up. But, hey, right now, George wants to prove that, hey, we can run against these guys. We got the size, we got the line, and I think that's what he's going to try to do here is push the ball on the field right now.
They do have the wind at their backs when they move left to right. Monahan play action, deep in the pocket looking, throws over the middle for Gum, and Gum had it for a second, then dropped it. Redskins won a flag as tight coverage provided by Joe Grubin. No markers down.
Yeah, he was, I mean, that's a close call. Pretty good defense, but, you know, it could have gone either way. It looked like he was on him a little bit, but the referees were right there, so you got to trust their call, I guess.
So 3rd and 11 for Morris from their 39-yard line. Monahan, we've talked about how he might have to make 2 or 3 plays tonight to help Morris win. He also needs to avoid mistakes. 3rd and longs, situations you don't want to see. Donovan under center with a take, straight drop. Looking right as he throws, deep down the field for Durgo, a little too far.
My.
He had Durgo on an out and up, but John could not run under that pass. It was about 2 or 3 yards too far in front. It's 4th down.
Well, that's the kind of passes you got to make. And again, Durgo had 2 or 3 steps on him. Man, you got to lay it right in there. He had the time. Nice pass blocking by the offensive line of Morse, and you got to be able to make those passes.
That might be some of that adrenaline running through Donovan too.
Absolutely, it is, and that's okay. He's making that attempt, and after 2 or 3 passes, that's why he needs to throw here a little bit. Get himself into the game, get a little rhythm, and get the flow of the game.
Break for Morris. There's a defensive holding call on Joliet Catholic. Now, I don't know if this is going to be an automatic first down. I don't believe it is.
No, I don't believe so, but it is a replay of 3rd down.
Yep, and just 3rd and 1 now instead of 3rd and 11 from the 49-yard line.
Well, that makes a big difference right there. Absolutely.
2 flags on the Hilltoppers, 1 against Morris. 3rd and 1 Redskins from their 49. 3.5 to go in the first, tied at 7. Receivers both ways, eye backfield, Cumbie wing to the right. Monahan the take, give to Durgo, hit immediately and drop for a 4-yard loss. The tackle made on the play by Jordan Keeley and the 6'1", 205-pound senior. It's 4th and 5.
Well, I'll tell you what, there was no blocking in there. There was a complete breakdown on the right side of the line because they shot right through there untouched and, I mean, nailed him right in the backfield. He had no chance.
Mike Burton is back to receive this kick on 4th and 5 for the Morris 45. Again, Durgo punting with the wind.
You know, they've had so much success on that left side. And again, you hate to see them go away from the things that they were so successful at, but I think they got to push on that left side again.
Good snap, a little bit of pressure. Durgo gets an end-over-end kick away. Burton will let it bounce. It rolls right to him, then hops over him. It may have deflected his shoulder. Back to the 1, and Burton covers it up at the 1-yard line. Flag comes down. There might be a late hit here coming up on the Redskins.
Come on, Alex. You can't do that.
Kind of a similar play to what we saw in the state title game. The punt comes down. It's down at the 1. Of course, this was down by the receiving team, but I think Burton thought that ball deflected off his shoulder, and then he went back to try to cover it up.
Yeah.
Now the officials are conferring after a Redskin player may have come in with a late hit. Flag comes down, and the officials are talking it over.
Yeah, you got it, boy. I know there's adrenaline flowing through these guys, but boy, this is you can't let it cloud. What you're doing out there. You've got to stay focused. And you cannot have those kinds of penalties because those things will kill you.
And it is a personal foul against Morris, so instead of having it at the 1, the Hilltoppers are moved out to the 16, maybe the 17-yard line.
Yeah, that's sinful. Boy, you just cannot let that kind of stuff happen. You can if you're playing, Yorkville and Mamuka, but you can't let that happen against Joliet Catholic. So these guys got to, right now, defense has got to strap it up here, hold them, let's get the ball back, and they got to march that ball in the end zone.
2:40 to go in the first, tied at 7. Here's the take, a run for Benson, and Comperta comes up to stick him after a short gain. Out near the 20-yard line, pickup of 2 or 3 yards for Benson in the early going. He's got 6 carries for just about 19 yards.
They're doing a pretty good job so far of containing Benson. Again, you got 3 guys that can run it. Benson, Batten, and McKeon, as he well proved in that quarterback scramble. So a very difficult job for and the thing is with Joliet Catholic, they're running so misdirections and so many people, it's hard to keep up who has the ball.
Second down, about 7 here for the Hilltoppers. The ball at the 20-yard line of Joliet Catholic. A running play for Benson, running the right side, hit and spun around. He'll cross the 20 out to the 22 or 3. Another short gain for Benson. It'll set up third and about 4.
And I tell you, just my assessment here after the first quarter. The Joliet Catholic is a good team, but I tell you what, I like what I see here tonight. I think Morris's chances right here are great. And Morris, in my opinion, has got every bit the team that this team has. So, I just like the chances here tonight with Morris, Mike.
Third and a short 3. McEwen under center. Benson trots in motion. McEwen on a keeper after he faked the pitch. He'll dive across the 25, and he's very close to the first down at the 26 or 7. A fake pitch. McEwen then turned and ran it. And from here, it looks like he's just a tad short, but they might call the sticks out.
They might. It's going to be close.
And they will call for the measurement.
See, and I know I'm one of the few, but boy, I really feel very good about Morris's chances here tonight. I think it was, as I thought about the whole game, obviously, I had a lot of chance to think about the game since about last Friday night, but, I felt very calm about myself because I sensed it in the kids, and they come over for spaghetti, and I'm down there with the kids in the locker room, and after that, and they just felt very confident. And I thought to myself, geez, I think these guys have got a great chance to beat Joliet Catholic. So, hey, a long way from over. Early in the ball game, a lot can happen. But, boy, I just think now that I see him run a few plays and see the Joliet Catholic team, they're definitely a beatable team.
That was enough for the first down, so the Hilltoppers with a fresh set of downs as we're down under a minute now for the opening quarter. 7-7 the score. Joliet Catholic from their own 27. Tight formation. Wingman to the left is Benson. Backs are split behind McEwen. He's under center. Motion on the left side, and a flag comes down. The left guard jumped a little early.
Yeah, he moved. Boy, that is huge.
Well, I think at this point, especially when the quarter comes to an end, the teams will kind of regroup for a minute, and this first wave of emotion will start to subside a bit for these players, and hopefully for Morris, they haven't expended too much energy with that adrenaline running through in that opening few minutes.
Well, we saw at the Geneva game, those guys, first game of the season, I almost think there was more pressure on those guys then. I mean, they were actually very nervous. They knew they had a lot to prove, so I don't know. I think these guys are, hopefully it's a controlled emotion here tonight.
First and 15, McEwen with a take. He's going to keep it rolling left. Cumbie gets him for a loss, and Dane helps finish it off at about the 20-yard line as they were ready for McEwen's fake pitch. And that is going to be a loss of a yard or two as we're going to come to the end of the opening quarter. 7-7 the score, second quarter after these on JDK.
Ripped, torn, broken, or maybe just sprained. Not treating an emphasis in sports medicine. Morris Redskin athletes know that if they're injured, receive the best Powerhouse, a full-service day spa open to the public with tanning, massage, manicures, pedicures, and so much more. Even babysitting is available at the Powerhouse Gym, Route 47 and Waverly in Morris. Call 941-1800 for more information. Powerhouse Gym, a cut above.
Welcome back to Morris High School, a jam-packed Morris High School tonight. Probably in the neighborhood of 8,000 or so. Jay, what would you guess?
Yeah, I would, I think there's every bit of 8,000. I mean, I heard they had 7,000 tickets, and I mean, who knows, but boy, it sure looks like, I don't know what 8,000 people looks like, to be honest with you, but there's a lot of people, I can tell you that. I just hope I win that 50-50 tonight. I haven't won the 50-50 in 10 years, but I hope tonight's the night, Mike.
Jay's all about the Benjamins. Second down and 17 in a tie game. McEwen back to throw. Deep down the near side. Has a man, and it is dropped by Benson. He slipped around Valentine, and the ball just kind of hung up there and dropped right into Benson's hands, and it slipped right through his fingers.
Boy, what a well-thrown ball. That time, very well-thrown ball. And again, it was funny. Valentine was moving back, and it's like he stopped. that was a very weird play. He just stopped and watched the ball. He didn't go after it. Well, I'll tell you what, Britton's a much better quarterback than he's one of the best quarterbacks there is. He's got to find that ball. When that receiver turns, he's got to go after it.
Third and about 17 for the Hilltoppers from their 20. McEwen on a quarterback keeper, going to roll left and stopped short after a gain of just a yard or two across the 20 to the 21. And the Redskins hold. And they'll get good field position here as the punt will come from about the 10-yard line. Well, both teams have had a big play offensively. But outside of that, both defenses have done a nice job here in the first quarter plus.
Yeah, they really have. And we knew it was going to be this type of ball game. Hard-nosed, going at each other. And it certainly turned out to be that way.
I think everybody thought it would be close, but they didn't know if it was going to be 14-7 or if it was going to be 35-28.
Now, you've got to watch it because Joliet Catholic is known for fake punts. So they...
high snap. Benson gets it with one hand and then kicks it away nicely as Broderick will let it bounce. Look at this thing roll.
That's where you got to catch those things.
This thing rolls to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, that's where you got to catch them.
As Benson did a nice job reaching up with the right hand to grab the high snap and then got into a line drive kick that took a huge hop and continued to roll towards the end zone. And Broderick, once it bounced that first time, he could not get to it. And Joliet Catholic gets a nice break there.
And I tell you what, in his defense, in Broderick's defense, that's tough. that poor kid, that is a lot of pressure to be out there trying to catch a punt in front of 8,000 men. I mean, I would be having an extra set of the pins, but I got a set on right now. But I'd have two on if I was returning punts. But yeah, I tell you what, those kind of situations, you really do need. As we've talked about it before, even though you don't make a good return, the fact that you just catch it and not let that kind of thing happen where it rolls and rolls and rolls, that's what you're trying to prevent.
Let's take a 30-second timeout on JDK.
The Center is a proud Redskins supporter. Go Redskins. If you're feeling creative, go into the
out of the night taken by the Redskins as we're early in the second. 7-7 the score, and after Morris makes a nice stop defensively, they were thinking they'd get the ball to the 30 or 40-yard line. Instead, they have it all the way back to the 10 after a tremendous punt by Benson. That line of scrimmage was about the 20-yard line, and that's that's about a 70-yard punt.
Yeah, that took some horrific bounces against Morris. It just went and went and went.
Now Morris going into the wind here in this quarter, going right to left. Monahan under center, three in the backfield behind Monahan as he takes. Handoff here for Peterson. He'll try to squirt through that left side of the line, crosses the 10 out to maybe the 11. Just a gain of one or so for Matt on his first carry of the night. Peterson will come out as Valentine will replace him.
That's right, a couple of yards again. I think they got to keep going to that left side of the line. They've been very successful this year, and those guys need a couple blocking plays here. They brought the two ends tight now. You had the two ends split out. Now they brought them in tight. So they're just going to try to move this ball up and down the field by running it.
T formation behind Monahan on 2nd down and 9. Here's the take. Give to Valentine up the middle, and Brenton out to about the 15-yard line. But it's going to be a 3rd down and 5 coming up for Morris after a 4-yard run on Brenton's first carry.
And, you got to give credit to that Joliet line. This is a tough defensive line. These guys have not given up much yardage on the ground this year. So, they talk about the offense of Joliet Catholic. Boy, you got to talk about the Joliet defense because these guys are a very good defensive bunch right here.
3rd down and 5 for Morris. Again, the T formation. Watch a tight end going out for a pass pattern. Here's Monahan. They're going to run with Durgo, running to the outside, and he jumps out of a tackle. Durgo 1st down and more. Durgo cuts it back to the 35-30. 40-yard line. Durgo out near midfield, still going. Durgo cuts it back, being chased as he goes to the left side, and Durgo just tripped up at the 32-yard line. John Durgo, a little dipsy-do on that right side, hopped over a defender, just patiently waited for a chance to make that cut move, found some room, and credit John for making the tackle avoiding jump about 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage to get that play started.
And again, I said it all along. I've never seen any guy catch them from when they have the angles, although doing a much better job here tonight. And what's amazing, you think he's dead meat in the water. You think he's had it, and then he stops, pivots, makes a little cut move, and it's just utterly amazing.
54-yard run for Durgo. Monahan play action, deep in the pocket. He looks to the right side, throws, it's tipped.
Oh, my!
Cumbie was wide open, but Monahan did not get much air into it, and it was nearly picked off.
Oh, my, wide open. You got to get some air. You got a guy 6'7". You've got to get some air on the ball. But again, it's early in the game. He's going to make, as you said, a little adrenaline flowing. So he's got to make some passes here. Get more into the rhythm of the game, and hopefully he'll be able to make those passes a little later on down the road.
Monahan 0 for 3 in the early going.
Oh, boy. Well, I'll tell you what, that was 7 right there. He makes that completion. It's not 7. It's going to be darn close to it.
Receiver split wide to the left. Baxton and eyes and ball and wing left side. 2nd down and 10. Here's the take for Monahan. Deep in the pocket as he looks to throw. Pump fake. Throwing deep down the near side for Dane. Jumps up. Couldn't quite pull it in as good coverage. Tight defense put on there by Shane Keene, who jumped up right with Dane. And a tough play to come down with. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Well, I'll tell you what, he left it up there just a little much, but Dane's right there. Again, he's got to make that grab. It's up in the air. He's got to go after it and get it. And I'll tell you that it's just a little behind him, but he's got to get the ball, throw that ball. But right now he's trying to make a completion.
Redskins will spread it a little bit here on 3rd and 10 from the Hilltopper 31. Tie game, 9 minutes for the half. Slot left, receiver right, Monahan, draw play, Durgo working through the middle, and John will be well short of the first down inside the 30 to the 29, just a gain of 2 yards.
Well, I'll tell you what, no doubt here that you got to go for it. I mean, there's no doubt, but they're down there, so definitely you got to get there and try to get the first down here.
4th and about 7 or 8, and it'd be a 46-yard field goal into the wind, and a punt, you're not going to gain a whole lot. Redskins are going to call time and think about it, it looks like. We'll take a break as well on JDK.
Morris Coin Shop is buying coins, paper money, gold and silver coins with an emphasis on silver dollars, denomination currency, complete sets of Lincoln cents, Buffalo Indian cents, walking Liberty halves
from $1,000 to $6,000. Plus, Bill Jacobs will give you the rebate back in cash so you can use that money for holiday shopping. It's the Bill Jacobs and Joliet Save Big Bucks on Trucks Red Tag Sale. 2001 West Jefferson, Joliet. Redskins down to their last timeout. 4th down and 8 here for Morris. 8:24 to go first half. 7-7 the score. Redskins at the Hilltopper 29. Durgo wing to the left. Zimbalin split wide to the left. Monahan back to throw. In the pocket with time. Throws over the middle. Tipped. Trying to get it to Durgo, and the pass off the mark and high. And the Hilltoppers will take over 1st and 10.
Oh, boy. That wasn't even close.
The Redskins get the long run from Durgo, but can't capitalize, and now Joliet Catholic will take over. Each team with a long touchdown run. Durgo's first play from scrimmage tonight for Morris, an 81-yard run. And then McEwen answered with a 55-yard scamper on a quarterback keeper. McEwen remains the quarterback. Backs are split wingman right side, Hervatten. He goes in motion. Here's the take. And an inside give. No, but it's McEwen keeping it. Running to the left side, McEwen. Gain of about 4 or 5. Tripped up shy of the 35-yard line as McEwen, the leading ground gainer so far for Joliet Catholic, but that's in large part due to that 55-yard run. They'll mark him out to about the 32 and a gain of 4.
Yeah, other than that play, the defense has done an outstanding job here tonight containing these guys. And again, very difficult to see who has the ball because they're running, 3 guys in 3 different directions. So, but you got to find the ball and, like you say, just knock somebody down. Hopefully he has the ball.
2nd down, McEwen with a take, handoff, Hervatten running through the middle. Hervatten close to a first down, but a little shy of it by about a yard or so. Gain of 6 yards for Hervatten off left tackle. It'll set up a 3rd down and about 2. Outside of that long touchdown run for McEwen, the longest gain of the night for Joliet Catholic has been 5 yards. 7:45 left in the first half. 7-7. The winner goes to the 6A semifinals next week against either Crystal Lake South or Cary Grove. They're playing tonight as well. We'll see if we can get you a score of that game as we go along tonight.
It's got to stop it right here.
3rd down and 1. McEwen under center with a take. He's back to throw on play action. Throwing deep downfield. Benson is wide open. He's got the catch, and Benson's going to take it all the way for the touchdown.
Holy cow.
Benson got past Durgo, and Durgo didn't really run after him that hard, it seemed. 63 yards through the air, and a touchdown puts Joliet Catholic out in front.
Wow. Well, I guess they can't throw the ball.
So the Hilltoppers take a 13-7 lead pending the extra point. That's the 6th touchdown pass of the year thrown by McEwen. The snap is there, kick is on the way, and it's good. 14-7 Hilltoppers will break on JDK. Here's an important announcement for owners of Mercedes-Benz and Jaguars. Collision is the only facility in this area certified by both Mercedes and Jaguar to return your vehicle to like-new condition. Collision Revision has over 30 locations in 3 states, including...
As your country insurance agent, I'll keep in contact with you and let you know when a change in your coverage can give you better protection or save you money. Call me, Dean Tambling, in Morris, 42-1560, and find out more about the type of personal service you get from Country.
14-7, Joliet Catholic with the lead over Morris midway through the second quarter. A 63-yard touchdown pass to Joe Benson on a 3rd and 1 play action, and Benson blew past Durgo by 3 or 4 yards and made the catch and just kept on going for 6. Now the kick to Morris. It's deep, the wind helping this one go into the end zone. And Morris will have it at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Morris scored on their first play from scrimmage. 81-yard run for Durgo since then. Joliet Catholic with 2 touchdowns.
Well, I'll tell you what, and again, it's 13-7, and this is what a good team does. They've got to come back. I'd like to, they really got to get a score here, Mike, going into the halftime. You don't want to be down. So this is a big drive. They really need to move the ball now, get something going, and get the ball in the end zone.
Donovan Monahan needs a completion. 0 for 5.
You're right.
He's back to throw. Donovan pressured, rolling right, and sacked.
Oh, gosh.
Donovan back to about the 12 or 13-yard line, a loss of 7. First sack of the night for the Hilltoppers.
You know, and again, I said it before, you're trying to go for those long passes, which is nice. But I really think they've got to try some quick slants, some quick outs, try to move the ball. Get the confidence that Donovan needs. And if he can throw those short passes, that will help him. You don't need to throw the 30, 25-yarders. You need to throw some 10 yards, 5 yards. Get that confidence, let him feel comfortable, and then go a little longer.
They've got Durgo split wide left, receiver wide to the right, double wings. Monahan back again to throw. Pump fake, pressured, rolling left. He's going to be sacked again.
Nothing.
Back to the 6-yard line. Wow. A loss of another 7 yards.
Well, you know, you can't throw the ball very well if you're not getting that kind of protection. And right now you're having a breakdown on the offensive line, which we haven't seen very much this year. These guys have done a pretty darn good job of providing Monahan with some good pass protection. But right now it's breaking down. They have to regroup, give him a minute or two to pass and make the completion.
So now 3rd and about 23 for Morris. Got to be careful here as Monahan. He's going to run a pitch, and this is going to be Durgo, it appears. And he'll get out near the 10, gain of about 2 or 3 yards as the Redskins not trying to do too much with a throw. But the pitch doesn't gain much at all. Morris left the punt from their end zone into the wind.
Yeah, that's a tough situation. Now you're punting right into the wind, and yeah, these guys are going to get, right now, they're lined up at about the 45-yard line. Now, it's going to take a darn good kick to get it to there, so I'm thinking with any kind of return, and they're going to get very, very good field position out of this one.
Durgo set up deep in his end zone, gets the snap, not much pressure. A high spiraling kick that's going to angle towards the Morris sideline. Takes a bounce backwards, and Joliet Catholic's going to have it at about the Redskin 30.
Yeah, you don't want to give them the ball there.
Well, again, this wind is playing a factor, as it has the last couple of times these two teams have played.
Yeah, it has. And, you know, I saw Donovan come over to the sideline, and the coach is yelling at him to throw the ball, but, boy, I didn't see any time that he really had much chance to throw it. As soon as he was getting back, he was getting pressure. So, I mean, they're going to provide these guys just a little bit of, they're going to give Monahan a little bit of time to throw the ball.
Benson split wide left. Hervatten goes to motion from the right wing. McEwen back to throw. He's going to run with it. Jumps out of a tackle. Keeps it going as McEwen. The flag comes down late as McEwen gets about 7 or 8 yards, maybe 9, inside the 25-yard line. It was a near tackle right behind the line of scrimmage, and then McEwen dodged a second tackle about 5 yards into that run. But we have a delay of game call. Is that delay?
No, it was pushing. It was blocking in the back. It was pushing, I believe.
Right. Looked like his arms were in the delay of game mode, but... And this will be a 10-yard mark off from the spot of the infraction. It'll go out now to the Redskin 38.
Yeah, blocking in the back. I'll tell you what, that helped. Now, get the ball back, guys. You're out of time, 4 minutes. Get the ball back and get the ball in the end zone.
Be a good time for a turnover.
It would be, and it happens with this team.
1st and 18 now for the Hilltoppers. Here's the handoff to Benson, running behind a block, gets a good block, keeps it alive. Benson jumps out of 2 tackles and goes inside the 15-yard line before he's pulled down by Valentine, and Ty is coming in late from the play. And Benson able to hop left and right and avoid trouble for a nice run for the Hilltoppers.
And again, I tell you what, 2 or 3 missed tackles, you can't have that. You absolutely cannot have that. So you've got to wrap them up at the legs, and really surprising to see that Morris is missing that many tackles. Usually these guys are pretty good tackling team, but they missed some ones here tonight.
26-yard run, Hilltoppers from the Redskin 12-yard line. Here's McEwen on a keeper. Nowhere to run, and Haas is going to help bring him down right near the line of scrimmage. Looked like Valentine may have been in there as well. That's Jeff Valentine, and Dane gets credit for a stop as well.
Yeah.
And maybe a loss of 1.
Yeah, good job by Haas that time. And again, you've got to be able to, make the tackles, guys. You've got to wrap them up, because these guys, you can't hit them up by the shoulder pads. As you see, I mean, they're very strong runners, and you notice, like, if they're trying to grab on them, but their legs are so quick, they're pulling right out of the tackles.
14-7 Joliet Catholic, late stages, first half. And motion on the right side of the line, it looks like, on the Hilltoppers.
Well, I'll tell you what, they might get a break here.
Yeah, Morris really needs to get to the break, down by just 7.
Yeah, they really do. And Mike, and we talk about momentum swings in this game, and that's all it takes. Morris just needs to get a touchdown, get the momentum back on their side, and believe me, that will do wonders for their confidence and help swing this game around a little bit. But I'll tell you what, a touchdown here would be very tough to overcome.
Second down and about 16 here for Joliet Catholic from the Redskin 18-yard line. McEwen back to throw. Looking left, throws it into the flat, overthrown.
That away.
And Dane got his hands up there. It may have caused McEwen to throw it a little bit further or higher than he would have wanted to. And it goes over the hands of Hervatten.
Well, absolutely. He's got his hands up there, and that's what you got to do. You got a guy 6'5", and, that's why you have those guys in there. Get their hands up, make them throw the ball over top of you.
Big play here, 3rd and long. Joliet Catholic can kick a field goal. Shane Keene has about a 40-yard range, according to Dan Sharp, and they do have the wind with them. We'll see what they do after this 3rd down play. The ball at the Morris 18-yard line. They have to get about 16 yards for a first down.
Well, we've seen Matt Peterson in there getting close for all season, but boy, what a great time he could come in there tonight and block a field goal if they try one.
Here's the snap. McEwen, he's going to keep it, and running left. McEwen runs into Valentine, and they take him down at about the 20-yard line. The ball may have popped loose. But it's going to be 4th down, it looks like. And we'll see what Dan Sharp decides here from the 15. It would be about a 32-yard kick.
Yeah, they're going to try to go for it.
The field goal, you mean? I think they're bringing out
the field goal, right.
Yep.
Excuse me. I meant that you're going to try to go for the field goal.
There you go.
Wait a minute. Yeah, they are. I watched the kicker, too. It looks like a very solid leg, very accurate kicker. I watched him in pregame. So they need to get in there and block this kick.
32-yard attempt. Keene will kick it from the middle of the field. Kick is on the way, and he pulled it.
He sure did.
Well, the Redskins get out of there without any points allowed.
That's huge.
2 minutes to go in the half. 14-7. Redskins trail it. And now they have one timeout.
Come on, guys. This game's far from over. And now I start getting nervous, and I got to stand up.
Jay's a man of the people. He's trying to fit in with about the other 6,000 people standing here this evening.
Yeah, 3,000 are up here in our booth. I'm wondering about the structural integrity of this booth right now.
Zimbalin trots in motion on 1st down as Monahan takes. Handoff up the middle, and not much across the 20, maybe the 23 or 4. And I believe that was Durgo for the run for Morris. As we're down to 1:52, clock running. Plenty of time, but Morris... Yep. If their hopes are to put a drive together and not just run the ball and get out of here down 7, they do need to step it up a little bit.
Well, I think Morris has got to be a little happy in the fact that they haven't played their best passing game. Really, surprisingly, hasn't been here much tonight, but they're still in the game. So they got to put some things together, make some adjustments at halftime, and they got to come out here playing some hard-nosed football.
Wide receiver out to the right. Cumbie goes in motion. Here's the take, the pitch to Durgo. Durgo cuts it back to the 30, near side 32. Nearly broke it. Wrapped up at the last second by Kevin Rouse. It's enough for a 1st down, though. It'll stop the clock momentarily with 1:20 to go.
Nice blocking right there at that time by the lineman Dane, especially coming down, putting a block on the tackle, opening that hole. A lot of time. You've got a lot of time to march this ball down the field. 1:14 seconds. And hopefully they can and get a score.
Well, they're not showing signs of being in much of a hurry. Zimbalin goes in motion out of the left wing. Monahan with a take. They'll run it to Durgo on the right side.
Nice block.
Cuts it back. Now goes to the outside. Durgo to the 40. Durgo to the 50. Far side 40. Big chase from behind. No one will get him. Touchdown, John Durgo.
Attaboy. No flags, right? Tell me there's no flags.
You don't need a lot of time when you have Durgo on your side. 67-yard run pulls Morris to within 1.
Now, you talk about a momentum break. I'll tell you what, that's what I want to see right there. That's the scenario I'm looking for. Get that momentum back on your side. What a ball game. And that's a sign of a great winners. That's a sign of a winning football team. You come right back, march the ball down the field, and get a score. Absolutely phenomenal.
I mean, who needs a hurry-up offense? Just give it to Durgo. And
that is the hurry-up. He hurry-ups and gets down the field.
Extra point on the way to tie it, and it is good. 14-14, 49 seconds till halftime on JDK.
This is Brian Fox of Fox Builders, independent builders for all Americans, offering quality homes at reasonable prices. There's more to learn about our homes. I invite you to visit our showroom located at 717 Route 47 in Morris. I also want you to know we partner with you to custom design dreams that last.
Let Countrywide Home Loans show you the way home. Fast, upfront approvals, and local experts who have the power to say yes to your local loan. They also offer local payment options. Countrywide Home Loans is located at 105 East Main, 2nd floor in Morris. Call 815-416-0433. At the Shorewood location, 930 Brook Forest Avenue, Route 59 and Black Road, call Ed Nink or Luann Costigan at 436-3070. Countrywide Home Loans, easy, really.
Durgo to kick it off from the 40-yard line as he kicks a line drive into the bleachers almost. That one bounces near the track.
That's all right. It's out of bounds. That's what you want to do. Don't let these guys get the opportunity to run it back. Well, I tell you, Mike, that play getting into the end zone was, as we talked about the momentum change, you watch the difference that these guys come out this second half and even now and start playing.
Well, with that run, John Durgo, 214 yards on 9 carries.
Yeah, that is amazing. That's, you know, some guys don't get 214 yards in a couple games. He gets it in about, 5, 8 plays? How many plays?
9 runs for Durgo.
That's all?
And he is now the 5th all-time leading rusher in state history.
Wow.
1st and 10 Hilltoppers from their 49. See what they do here. They have all their timeouts.
They're going to
McEwen back to throw. Throwing over the middle of the field. Too high. Nearly intercepted. Gum couldn't hang on.
Oh.
It may have been a trap anyway. I think it squirted through Gum's hands at about the Morris 45. Well, the Hilltoppers with their timeouts intact deciding to go back and take a shot with the pass. 44 seconds now, 2nd and 10, and the ball at the Joliet Catholic 35.
If you feel some hot air on your forehead, that's just me behind.
Give me a massage while you're there, will you?
That's me behind you, breathing heavy.
2nd and 10, receiver to the left. Here's a draw play, and it's Herbatten for just a couple out to the 37-yard line. Clock running, 35 seconds. Hilltoppers not in much of a hurry here.
I'll tell you what, they know they're in a fight right now. It's a showdown at the OK Corral. It's the Drilla in Manila. It's the Clash of the Titans. I don't know what it is, but it's big. This is big, folks.
Well, this game has been just about every ounce of what we were hoping it would be. Down to 10 seconds, and whistles here.
Hey, for this kind of ball game, they should have charged them $10, not $6. This is well worth more than $6, isn't it, Mike?
Absolutely. Now the Redskins call time here with 8 seconds to go. Why don't we take a quick 30-second break on JDK? Grand Schwinn has over 250. Cyclery is located at 711 Liberty Street in Morris. Stop in and see Roy at Grand Schwinn Cyclery, Morris's cycling center. Just 8 seconds remain until we get to the break. 3rd down and 9 for Joliet Catholic from their 36. And if Morris was going to call time, I was thinking maybe they would call it right after that last run, force Joliet Catholic to make a play and maybe have to sneak a punt off before the half came to an end. Hilltoppers here with the ball at their 36-yard line. Receivers to both sides. One in the backfield for McEwen. He's going to throw a pass to Benson. It's a lateral to the right side. Incomplete, they'll say. His knee was down. That's what it is. He caught the pass right at the line of scrimmage, and then his knee hit the turf. The clock will run out, and the first half comes to an end. Our score at halftime is 14-14. And our Mike Hensel is on the field. He's trying to get contact with one of the coaches for Morris. Mike, if you're there, go ahead.
Okay, I've got the coach standing by me. Coach, we started strong and we finished strong this half. Team's looking pretty good out there so far.
Yeah, their defensive line is pretty dang good right now, and we decided we're going to go outside a little bit and you know, utilize John on the sweeps, and you know, our big plays are there, but we got to move the football. You know, we can't have 3 and outs and Donald getting sacked, so we got to shore up our pass blocking at halftime.
They're showing a lot of different running formations out there, a lot of different attackers on the run. How are we going to stop that in the second?
Well, that's Joliet Catholic football. They give you a lot of, you know, misdirection, a lot of different looks, and you know, it's hard to find the ball, but our kids are doing a pretty good job of it, and we just can't give up the big play. That's what Joliet Catholic's all about, and we want to make them drive the field.
Okay, no, Coach, thank you very much. Mike, they're going to try and hold the line for the second half.
Thank you, Mike. As head coach Peters, or assistant coach Peterson with some comments there as we go to the break, 14-14. And Jay, what an exciting half. It started with a bang and it closed with a bang, and we're tied up.
Well, he said it. It's exactly right. You started strong, and more importantly, man, you finished strong. What a big difference defensively. I mean, go back to a couple plays. They had a great field position on about the 30. They thought they were going to take it in. Morris does an outstanding job holding them, takes the ball, goes all the way down the field on just 1 or 2 little plays. One big one in particular by John Durgo, and I'll tell you what, they tie this up. Momentum's back on their side, and Mike, you could, I mean, the folks as I said, you should be charging double for this, because this is a football game that you don't see but once in a great while. What two teams going at it like this? Outstanding.
Well, we'll have third quarter action coming up. A quick break first, and then this night can't be complete without bloopers from 2005. Enjoy it, folks. We'll have it for you next on JDK. You can rely on Boren's Insurance with access to hundreds of insurance companies for the best coverage at the most reasonable and competitive rates. Plus, Boren's Insurance Group provides personal insurance, including auto, homeowners, life, and health, along with business insurance and group health, and all other employee benefits insurance. Contact Boren's today and ask for Jerry, Armin, Randy, Annette, Debbie, or Tiffany. Boren's Insurance Group, an independent insurance agency, Morris.
Our community grows through our youth. Cardinal Sport is proud to sponsor tonight's Morris JCA football game. It's been another exciting season of football. Be sure to show your support for the team. For over 30 years, Cardinal Transport has been serving the area's long-haul carrier needs. They continue to strive for the highest quality service for their customers, just as the Redskins